Thank you. Good morning. Okay, so last time what we discussed was that fundamental reality is neither conceptual nor perceptual. And the current scientific model right now does not understand the source of consciousness. It's called the hard problem of consciousness. You can hear me in the back, right? Okay. It's called the hard problem of consciousness. How does matter or the brain give rise to conscious experience or experience of any kind? So the first step in any experience, you'd raise your hand up. We don't know how that happens. How does intention transform into brain activity? The first step of any motor activity. Also the last step of any sensory activity. We don't know. I'm looking at you, photons are coming to my eyes, but how does chemistry create the experience of the theater of space-time and causality? So this is the basis of science, which is physicalism. Everything is based on physical reality. Physicalism works up to a point, classical physics works up to a point, but then as we get deeper into quantum mechanics, everything becomes crazy. So atoms are made of particles, particles also are waves. When you're not looking at particles, they become waves. And unlike particles, which have units of energy and matter, waves have no location in space-time and no units of energy and matter. So if you ask scientists today, what are the waves that create the universe made of? The only answer you'll get is they are made of possibilities. Okay, so normally when you look at any other wave function, ocean waves are made of water, sound waves are made of air. What are the waves that make the physical universe? They're made of possibilities. So where do these possibilities exist? Well, science, as usual, comes up with a mathematical answer. They exist in something called Hilbert space. So what is Hilbert space? It's an imaginary mathematical space. Bottom line is, we do not know the unmanifest source of the material world scientifically. So physicalism does not work when it comes to understanding what is reality. Dualism, which is something, again, philosophical, which says mind and matter are two different things. And scientifically, mind and matter as two different things also does not work for many reasons. If mind is separate than matter, how do the two interact? How do you move your arm? How do you speak? You start with a thought, but then this very physical manifestation. What's the interaction between mind and matter? Where does the energy come from? Right now, scientifically, it doesn't work. Okay? So, although there are schools in yoga also of dualism, Vaisheshikya, scientifically it doesn't work. So, what's left? Left is the only model that does work, the only model that does work is there's only consciousness. Period. Only consciousness. Consciousness modifies itself into mental activity, which we experience as thoughts, memories, imagination, desire, but it also modifies itself into perception, sensations, shapes, colors, forms, sounds, tastes, smells. So these are not physical things. There's no, there is no physical entity called color. I mentioned that last time. There's no physical entity called matter. What I call matter is a sensation. So, matter, what we call the physical world, is an interpretation of sensations. Okay. In yoga, these sensations are called vrittis. Vrittis. All of you do yoga, so you know what vrittis means. Vrittis are fluctuations or vibrations or disturbances or what else could you call them? Vibrations, fluctuations, disturbances, modifications of consciousness. So think of a still lake, and you have a whirlpool, and the whirlpool is the vrittis, and it's spreading all everywhere in all directions. Except the lake is two-dimensional and consciousness is infinite and formless. So you can't actually visualize it, but you know, everything in summary, every experience you have is a vritti. Every experience is a vritti. Okay, so if you start to think like this, then you will come up with the one sentence that summarizes chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says, I'm the field, I'm the knower of the field. So the field is consciousness, awareness, and the knower of the field is self-aware. And as its self-awareness, it experiences itself as mind, intellect, ego, subtle body, the five senses, the five motor organs, prana, everything. So, one sentence to summarize all this. One is, of course, chapter 13, Kshetragya and Kshetrag. Kshetra, I am the field, knower and the field. Or a simple way, you and the universe are made of awareness. There is only awareness or consciousness. Now, in yoga, these are described as 5 kinds of vrittis, you know, correct knowledge, incorrect knowledge, memory, imagination, sleep. Sleep, dream sleep. Deep sleep, there is awareness, but there's no fluctuation. Even in deep sleep, there is awareness, always. So in deep sleep is not the absence of deep sleep is the absence of experience. It's not the absence of awareness. Awareness knows that there is no experience. Awareness is there in deep sleep. Awareness knows there is no experience. So even if you're in deep sleep, somebody makes a noise, you wake up. Somebody calls your name, you wake up. Somebody pinches you, you wake up, which means there's awareness in sleep. So these are the 3 stages of awareness we go through every day. Sleep, waking, dreaming. And they're all vrittis, except for very deep sleep, and there is minimal vritti. Minimal vritti. So sleep is the closest to pure consciousness. Closest to pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is the source of all vrittis, source of all fluctuations, which I said now. Correct knowledge, incorrect knowledge, memory, imagination, and dream sleep. These are the vrittis. When we go to the source of these vrittis, and every experience is a combination of vrittis. So there's no such thing as independent matter. Matter is a particular combination of vrittis. Mind is another particular combination of vrittis. This is a combination of the five senses: sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. Mind is thoughts and feelings and emotions and imagination and memory, but they're still vrittis. Everything is a vritti. The source of vrittis is pure consciousness, also referred to as Shiva, pure consciousness. So, pure consciousness is not the experience but the source of all experience. It contains the possibility for infinite experiences, infinite knowers, infinite modes of knowing, and infinite entities known. So, infinite observers, infinite modes of observation, infinite objects observed or entities observed. You can say this many ways: observer, observing, observate, the observed; seer, scenery, seeing; knower, knowing, known. The knowing is the vritti, and the known and the knower are born in every experience. In other words, there's no permanent knower or observer and no permanent object to be known. There is only the knowing, which is a vritti, only the seeing, only the hearing, only the feeling, only the thinking. And the knower and the known are concepts. In other words, you are a concept. As a body mind, you are a concept. And the world that you experience is also a concept. And that concept is constantly changing. Every experience changes the knower and the known. Every experience. So after this experience, you're a different person. You know something that you didn't know before. Or you realize something that you didn't realize before. After you eat a meal, your body is different. After you look at the ocean, there's some shift in your body chemistry. So every entity that we call the knower and the object of knowing is born with every experience and dies also as the last experience fades. So what is identity then? What is our identity? What is our true self? Because the body is a constantly changing phenomenon, and what the body experiences, the world, is also constantly changing phenomenon. So what is the identity then? Well, relative identity is what we call a person. But a person has no permanent identity, constantly shifting body-mind, from fertilized egg to zygote to baby to toddler, all the way to dusty death. You say, I have a body, then you have to say, which one? Okay. You die and you go to heaven and you meet your parents. How old do they look? Who will you meet there? The old man or the young man or the teenager? You see, our concepts are misleading. So in Buddhism and in Vedanta, the physical body is called the karmic body. And in Buddhism, it's called the conceptual body. Karmic body, conceptual body. Which means it's not real. It's a concept, and the concept is based on, if you use the Vedantic term, in karma. So close your eyes right now. Just close your eyes and do nothing. Okay, now you open your eyes. Of course, in a short while, maybe the whole experience may be not there. But if you sit quietly and you do nothing, if you sit quietly and you do nothing, you soon become aware that you are talking to yourself. So, who is talking to itself? You say, I am talking to myself. What is the conversation? The conversation is either a memory or some kind of imaginary desire. That's it. Only two kinds of thoughts, either about the past or about the future. So the thoughts about the past, and they're all vrittis, they're all fluctuations of consciousness. The thoughts about the past are called sanskara. Sanskara means residue of karma or memory. Any experience. You go to Starbucks, you have a cup of coffee, that's a memory, that's karma. Any experience is karma. Not only is any experience karma, interpretation of experience is karma. Okay, so I go to Disney World, I have a good time. You go to Disney World and you have a terrible time. We both took the same joyride, but I enjoyed it, you did not enjoy it. Okay, that's an interpretation. That's an interpretation based on some other experience. Okay, so there is only karma, memory, and desire. I go to Disney World, I enjoy it, I'll go back, I'll pay for it. You, you had a panic attack, you'll never go back. Okay, so that's your karma. My karma is going back and making money for Disney World. So there is memory, which is karma. The residue of karma is sanskara, and then it projects future as desire, or what are called tendencies of vasana. You can say this is the software of your soul. Memories, desires, fantasy, imagination, experience. And this all vritti. That's all it is, fluctuation. Vritti. It's a sensation and an interpretation of sensation. So if you close your eyes, what you're experiencing is your conversation, which is your karma. And if the conversation is a happy memory, then the body feels pleasant. If it's unhappy, body feels unpleasant. Because what is the body? It's another combination of sensations. That's all it is. It's a combination of sensations based on your interpretation of your experiences. So it's a conceptual projection, karmic body, conceptual body. The physical body is the karmic body, the mental body is the karmic body, subtle body is the karmic body, the causal body, which is called Anandamaya Kosha, is the bliss body. It's behind the karmic body, is what we call the bliss body. Bliss body means no vrittis, no fluctuation, no disturbance. Even pleasant disturbances are vrittis. You feel happy, pleasurable. Unpleasant disturbances are painful, but the bliss body is the absence of all vrittis. Absence. It has two components, jiva, which is, it has the seeds of karma, and then Atman, which is one with Brahman, universal consciousness, where even the seeds are dormant or not there. Only in liberation they're not there, but otherwise they're always there. The seeds are there. So the potential for knower, knowing, and known is there, always. And it is that which is called the bliss body or the Anandamaya Kosha. So, in terms of health and well being, if your body is feeling joyful all the time, then you're closer to the bliss body. Okay, not pleasurable, joyful. Pleasurable is a sensation, joyful is ananda, bliss, peace, lightness of being. In fact, if you close your eyes and you'd feel nothing, no internal dialogue, no karma, just pure awareness, then there's no body. The body is an intermittent experience of vrittis. It's a concept. And so is the physical world a concept. It's another combination of vrittis. Everything is a concept except pure consciousness, which is the potential for, or you can say, infinite experiences, infinite modes of knowing, infinite knowers, infinite entities known. Now, pure consciousness obviously is without form. Because it is without form, it has no borders, it's infinite, it's spaceless, it's irreducible, it's timeless, it's eternal, it's, as you know, Bhagavad Gita, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it, weapons cannot shatter it, fire cannot burn it, it's ancient, it's beyond birth and death. It is independent of all experience, just as the lake is independent of the whirlpool, or the ocean is independent of the wave, or the screen is independent of the programs on the screen. So, what are some of the properties of pure consciousness? I already mentioned it's formless, it's spaceless, it's timeless, it's irreducible, it's infinite, it's incomprehensible, but it has certain patterns of behavior. It has something called spontaneous self-regulation, spontaneous evolution, spontaneous correlation, synchronicity. Synchronicity means everything is happening all at the same time. These days the word is entanglement, and everything is entangled. All is happening simultaneously. So even though karmically we think in cause effect, this is the theater of space-time and causality, that's a misconception from the mistake of the intellect and from our inability to perceive the whole with bits of sensory experience. With bits of sensory experience, you can't experience the whole. So you see this bit, this bit, and it's impossible to experience the whole. But if we could experience the whole, we would see that everything is happening simultaneously, synchronistically. How does a human body think thoughts or play a piano or kill germs or remove toxins or make a baby all at the same time? All at the same time. A human body, every cell in your body can do trillions of things simultaneously, correlated with everything else in the body. Your blood pressure, your heart rate, your immune function, eating, breathing, digestion, metabolism, elimination, sensory experience, motor activity, thoughts, feelings, desires, imagination, all is happening simultaneously. And all it is vrittis, combination of vrittis. So when you go to the source of vrittis, you should be experiencing then spontaneous intuition. You should be experiencing synchronicity. In religious traditions, they say you experience the grace of God, or good luck, or meaningful coincidences, or being at the right place at the right time, or you might say support of the laws of nature or whatever, because your body mind, in the absence of vrittis, is one with pure consciousness. So if you're even close to pure consciousness, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, then you should be experiencing all this. Lightness of being, joy, ananda, um, meaningful coincidences, synchronicities, being at the right place at the right time, or what is called spontaneous fulfillment of desire. And these, at a very primordial level, they are called shaktis. So, Ichha Shakti is the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. Ichha Shakti. Kriya Shakti is spontaneous right action. Gyan Shakti is spontaneous knowledge or intuition or creativity. Okay. Ananda Shakti is the Shakti that comes from pure joy. So Ananda Shakti, Shakti comes from pure joy. Kriya Shakti, spontaneous right action. Icha Shakti, spontaneous fulfillment of desire. And Gyan Shakti, spontaneous knowing. Knowing without information. Intuition, insight, higher level of imagination, archetypal thinking, and ultimately spontaneous everything. What we call the opposite of resistance, flow. Flow. So we move from resistance to least effort, to flourishing, to flow, to joy, to ecstasy and transcendence. So given all what I've shared with you, why don't we have half an hour, we look at everything I've said through a little combination of meditation and inquiry. So first we'll do some inquiry. Inquiry means you ask question of yourself. The Sanskrit word Atma Vichar. Atma Vichar. Self-inquiry. Then we will do a little bit of mindfulness. Mindfulness means observing without interpretation, called vipassana. And then the third is a little transcendence, which is called Atma Darshan. Transcendence means going beyond. So Atma Vichar, Vipassana, and Atma Darshan. So because probably this particular combination you may not be used to, so I will guide you as we go along. But remember, the principle is very simple. There is only awareness and there is only vrittis. Okay? Experience is vrittis and awareness is the source of all vrittis and source of the universe. Okay? So let's close the eyes. And let's start with the first Vipassana experience, which is observing the breath. As the Buddha observed his breath, he came to some very radical conclusions. Number one, breath is a sensation. Number two, all experience is a sensation. In other words, breath is a vritti, it's a sensation. All experience is a vritti, sensation. The separate breath does not exist. We all share the same breath. And from this, another conclusion, the separate self does not exist. There is one self and there is one breath. Next conclusion, all sensations arise and subside. This leads to the law of impermanence. Everything that arises also subsides. All experience is impermanent. You cannot hold on to your breath. If you hold on to your breath, you will suffocate. So you cannot hold on to anything. Let go and flow. Breath is the first sensation and the last sensation of our life. In between, innumerable sensations. And now, bring your awareness from your breath into your heart in the middle of your chest. And with your awareness in your heart, mentally ask your question. First question. First Atma Vichar. Who am I? What am I? Do not try to answer the question. Only ask. What am I? Be aware of any sensation, any image, any feeling, any thought, any vritti that comes to you. Who am I? Or what am I? Go a little deeper. Am I the changing body, or am I the awareness in which the changing body is a sensation? Am I the changing body, or am I the awareness in which the body is a changing sensation? Changing vritti. Stay with that question and do not try to answer it. Let any answer come to you. Am I the body, or am I the awareness in which the body is a changing experience, a changing combination of vrittis? Now go to the second question. Am I the changing mind, or am I the awareness in which the mind is a changing vritti? Am I the changing mind, or am I the awareness in which the mind arises and subsides just like the breath? Am I changing emotions, or am I the awareness in which emotions arise and subside? Am I the changing personality, or am I the awareness in which the personality recycles and evolves? Now just sit with that one question What am I? Am I the mind? Am I the body? Am I the person? Or am I the awareness in which all this arises and subsides? Just sit with that. What am I? Now go to the next question. What do I want? What is my deepest desire? Again, do not try to answer. Just be aware of any vritti, any sensation, any image, any feeling, any thought. What is my deepest desire? What do I want? Allowing any sensation, any image, any feeling, any thought to arise and subside. What do I want? What do I want? Third question. What is my purpose? Allowing any sensation, any image, any feeling, any thought to arise and subside. What is my purpose? Fourth question. What am I grateful for? Notwithstanding any problems, any challenges, what am I grateful for? Allowing any sensation, any image, any feeling, any thought to arise. Now let go of the questions and just become aware of any sound, including the sound of my voice or any other sound. Notice that sounds arise and subside just as the breath. As you become aware of sound, mentally remind yourself, I'm the awareness in which sounds arise and subside. I am the awareness in which sounds arise and subside. Now turn your attention to sensations in your body. So feel your body. Bring your awareness into your body and feel your body from the inside out. And notice sensations arise and subside just like sounds and the breath. Be aware of sensations in your body and remind yourself, I'm the awareness in which sensations arise and subside. Now let's evoke some images in our consciousness. So let's create the image of a beautiful sunset on the ocean. Create the image of a full moon and a starlit sky. Create the image of snow-clad mountains. Red roses. A lush green valley. And notice that the images flicker in and out. Create colors in your mind. Red, blue. As these images flicker in and out, remind yourself, I'm the awareness in which images and forms and colors arise and subside. Generate some saliva in your mouth and taste it. Taste the back of your teeth, the roof of your mouth. And remind yourself, I am the awareness in which flavors arise and subside. Be aware of any odors of scents going through your nostrils, or perhaps just bring one hand to your nostrils and smell it. I'm the awareness in which scents and odors and fragrances arise and subside. Now think of someone that you love and bring the awareness of that person or that entity or whatever it is that you care about. Bring the presence of that person in your heart. Could be a person, could be a guru, could be a teacher, could be a divine entity. Bring the presence of that entity into your heart and feel the presence with love. Feel the emotion that you call love. Reminding yourself, I'm the awareness in which emotions are generated and experienced. I'm the awareness in which emotions arise and subside. Now mentally ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. And wait for your next thought. When you wait for your thought, it slowly comes. Observe it. Wait for your next thought. Observe it arise and then observe it subside. I'm the awareness in which thoughts arise and subside like clouds in the sky. I'm not the clouds, I'm the sky. Now let that all go and repeat your full name to yourself. I am John Doe. I am Mary Smith. And now as you're repeating your name to yourself, allow everything that is identified with that name to come to your awareness. Your name, your relationships, your job, your house, all the problems, all the issues. Let them all, memories of your daily life, come into your awareness. And now let go of your last name. Just repeat your first name and bring into your awareness memories of your childhood. Anything that comes to mind. Good, bad, trauma, happiness, memories of childhood. And now finally, let go of all that and just repeat, I am, with no name, no memory, no anticipation, just I am, with no vritti except I am. And now replace that with the vibration, with the mantra aham, which is the vritti of I am. aham, aham. Without moving your lips, without moving your tongue. Aham. Now release the mantra and just be aware of your own presence. Be aware of being aware. Rest in your own awareness, presence. This is who we are, presence, awareness. No shape, no form, no color, no sound, no age, timeless presence. So be aware of being aware. Rest in your own being. And now you can relax into your body and take half a minute, and please open your eyes after that. So what we did right now is a little bit of inquiry, which is called Atma Vichar, awareness of the five senses, awareness of emotions, awareness of thought, but then taking a little mantra and going beyond the vrittis and sitting in pure awareness. If there is one thing that is close as an experience to pure awareness, it is empty space. So right now, as you're looking at me, be aware of the space between us. The space has no vrittis. Okay. So in Sanskrit, this space between you and me, it engulfs the whole universe. It's the space between your fingers, the space between your breath, the space between your thought, the space between your imagination, the space between breath. This space is infinite. And so in Sanskrit it's called Bhutakash. Bhut means physical. Now close your eyes and once again evoke images, mountains, sky, Empire State Building, face of your mother, listen to your favorite song, taste a strawberry, smell garlic. Okay, open your eyes. That's called mental space. It's called Chitakash. And then the third space is without any content. So this space is physical content, mental space is mental content, and Mahadakash, no vrittis. And in today's science, the space is called quantum space, infinite energy, infinite information. But actually, it's Mahadakash. It's the Akashic field. So if you want to quieten your mind during the day, just turn your attention to space. That's it. And ask yourself, am I aware? Am I aware? The goal is that everything that you experience becomes a vritti in your own self. Everything. And as we experience the self and we notice that the vritti is a fluctuation of the self, slowly that leads to the fourth state of consciousness, which is called turiya. So waking, dreaming and sleeping is the normal three states of consciousness. Turiya is the fourth state of consciousness. If we can abide in that space, in waking, dreaming and sleeping, that is called Turiya Tata, cosmic consciousness, which means simultaneously the vritti and the absence of the vritti. If we can abide in that, that leads to something called Bhagavad Chetna, God consciousness. And if we can abide in that, ultimately, Brahman consciousness. So, 7 states of consciousness, 7 states of being, 7 states of knowing, 7 states of perception, 7 states of awareness, 7 states of biology, and 7 different realities. And then within those realities, innumerable realities. That's the journey to awakening, from waking to dreaming to deep sleep to soul consciousness to cosmic consciousness to God consciousness to divine consciousness. Now, on Sunday, when I come back, I'll show you some research milestones on how to embark on this journey. Of course, you know, it's all basically ultimately yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga and raj yoga. But there are one thing which you can do anytime, and that is stop and ask yourself, am I aware? Am I aware? Then ask yourself, what am I aware of? And you'll realize what you're aware of yourself as a vritti. And that's all there is. Okay, everything else is a story. But as we move into these states of consciousness, then the brain shifts, biology shifts, perception shifts. And I'll share with you some research on this. And you know, if you want to follow up, of course, you can always check that AI as well. Thank you very much.